Okay guys, this is my post-match reaction video to the Aston Villa 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0 Premier League game. I was expecting Tottenham to get blown away. When I saw the team selection to this game, I was expecting Spurs to get blown away. I was expecting another performance akin to the Crystal Palace defeat at home at the weekend, where Tottenham would just had rings run around them by the opposition. But I have to hold my hands up. I thought we were going to get done 5 or 6-0 tonight, and Spurs played in a different way. I'd say even more pragmatic than they've been playing in the knockout stages of the Europa League. They played 4-4-2 in defence, in a defensive situation, so whenever we didn't have the ball, and just made it incredibly tight and narrow and hard for Villa to get around us. Get around us they eventually did, but it took till, I think, what, the 55th, maybe 60th minute for Villa to get their first goal. But Spurs put in a shift, and Ange Postecoglou picked a genuine reserve side, like a B team. There wasn't one player who started that game for Tottenham who you could guarantee will start the game on Wednesday night in the Europa League final. It looks very much like all the players, because Bentancur came on towards the end. Sonny had a good shift, maybe 70-odd, 75 minutes. Solanke came on at the end. It looks like they've all got through it unscathed. The only slight injury worry, Mikey Moore put in a good defensive shift tonight. Didn't really get much time on the ball. He does look physically a little short when it comes to playing regular Premier League games at this moment. But what would you expect? He's 17 years old, the boy. But he put in a great doggy shift. He was kind of playing, most of the game, he was playing behind Jed Spence on the right-hand side. They were kind of fluidly swapping with each other, but in defensive roles. But Mikey Moore did go down towards the end of the game. Maybe it was just cramp. You've got to hope it was cramp. This is how much of a B team it was. Sergio Reguilon played tonight. Put in a real shift. And didn't show himself to be a bad player. I guess that's what Ange is saying, is like, he's a decent enough player if you're just playing a kind of 4-4-2. But when you want to play Ange ball, he doesn't suit it. And maybe that's right. But does Ange ball even suit the Premier League, arguably? You'd have to say, based on the results, because this leaves us still very much in 17th place. You'd have to say the results say no. Like I said, I expected us to get done 5 or 6 tonight. It was only 2-0. Aston Villa, as you'd expect, playing their first team, just looked like the far stronger side. They had more possession. They had more chances. But we put in a pragmatic, hard-working, defensive performance. And in that first half, especially, in that first half, we had our chances. Son Heung-min started the game, and he showed some real pace. He showed some freshness. He had a few chances in behind Matty Cash, one that went just over the bar, kind of trademark Sonny cutting in on the left and trying to bend it into the far corner. Emi Martinez, proper full-length dive. He was not sure he was going to make that at all. And then a couple of times where Sonny got away from his defender and could have taken left-foot shots. In fact, I'd argue if Sonny was playing regularly and on top form, he would have opened that out. He would have, whilst he's running down the left channel into the box, he would have taken a step over on his right foot onto his left and hit it into the far right-hand corner. But he just looked a little bit too rusty for that. But he put in a good shift of 65, 70 minutes. And I have to say, that has put some doubt into my mind. I was pretty sure before this game that I thought Richarlison would start on the left in the Europa League final, because he played in the 2 semi-final legs against Bodo Glimt. He caused trouble, and we were playing more direct style of play, and that suits him. But now I do wonder whether potentially Sonny might start. Let me know in the comments. Would you have Sonny start in the Europa League final on Wednesday night? How do you feel about it? Obviously, as Spurs fans, we are all racked with the memory of Harry Kane having not played for a month or two before the Champions League final, and Poch picking him and Kane not being in the game. The difference is this time, Sonny has got some minutes under his belt. He's not as sharp as, but he looks relatively sharp. And yeah, I mean, he's the captain. He is one of the few players in the team, especially with the injuries, who, if a big chance came to him in a big European final, you'd back him to score, because he's been there, he's seen it, he's done it at the top level, World Cups. He's scored hundreds of goals for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. So I think it really depends for me on how Ange is going to approach this. I've talked a little bit about how I expect that Europa League final to be a bit of a stodge fest. I think both teams will try and stodge it up, because this season both teams have played at their worst against teams who play mid to low blocks, slow tempo, stodgy football. And therefore, I would not be surprised at all if Man United were hoping Tottenham have most of the possession, and Tottenham hope that Man United have most of the possession. In the knockout games in the Europa League, that's how Tottenham have played. They've let the teams that they're playing have the possession, and then they've gone direct. They've defended well. They've had their best back four with Van der Ven and Romero and Porro and Udogie. They defended well, and then they've broken from deep, either through direct balls and kind of playing off scraps off the likes of Richarlison and Solanke, or getting Udogie driving forward, Porro driving forward. So it'll be interesting to see, because I think if Ange wants to play that way in the final against Manchester United, then the way to do it is to keep Richarlison in the starting 11. I also do not hate the idea of Son being an option off the bench. It's going to be a tight game, I think. I really do. I really think it could be decided by a set-piece goal, or maybe even go to penalty shootout, to a penalty shootout. I could be completely wrong. A lot of the pundits are saying, oh, this will be a goal fest because Spurs have conceded so many goals this season. Man United are so poor. They've conceded so many goals this season. I'm not so sure. Not with Amorim's 3-5-2. Obviously, the Carabao Cup game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, I think, finished, 5-3, 4-3 maybe? And so people will be hoping for that, but I would be very surprised. Maybe if an early goal goes in that final and the opposition have to really come out, maybe then that will lead to goals, but I don't think so. I think it'll be a tight stodge fest, and if it is, I would choose at this stage Richarlison start in the left-sided forward role with Solanke on in central, and then I think most likely, because of the way he picked teams for those semi-finals, I think he'll start with Brennan Johnson, because he knows Brennan Johnson provides a goal threat. He doesn't provide a great deal else during the game, but he provides a goal threat. As for the central midfielders, let me know in the comments, who do you think will start as that third central midfielder? You've got to think it'll be Basuma, Bentancur and one other. Pat Matasar played tonight. Did not pull up any trees. Obviously, he did what he always does. He got around the pitch. He's leggy. He's got an engine. Odegaard was in the front three. Tell was obviously in the front three as well. Odegaard, when he gets some space to drive into, he's got pace. He's a raw talent. He will be a great player, I think, Wilson Odegaard. But for a European final, I hope that Mikey Moore might put in a performance that might try and persuade someone to pick him. But he looked like he came off injured at the end, and he didn't get in the game at all. So it'd be really interesting to see what Ange does. Maybe he'll change the shape as he did tonight for that final. I don't know. Let me go through my team ratings after that game tonight. Starting with Kinski, I'm going to give Kinski a 7.5. His best game for Spurs since that debut he had at Liverpool. His starting position was excellent. He claimed everything that came his way. He made 2 unbelievable saves, and he kept some trouble away from his back four, coming for low crosses and some good distribution as well. One magnificent long throw, Schmeichel-esque, to Odegaard, which put Odegaard in the second half, but unfortunately his second touch didn't get him away from the defender, and that allowed the defender to get in there and get the ball back to the keeper. Spence, 5 out of 10 for me, poor. Reggie, 6 out of 10. Davis, 6.5 out of 10, did okay. Kev Danso, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. I thought Kevin Danso played well today. Interestingly, I said in my my match review of the game against Crystal Palace that I thought Danso could hold his head up high. But a lot of people on the podcast that I listen to, the brilliant podcasts, The Extra Inch, The Tottenham Way, View from the Lane, Fighting Cock, for instance, they thought Danso was poor at the weekend, but I thought he was all right. So it just shows we don't all think the same things. Who knows? Archie Gray, 5 out of 10 again, maybe worse, 4.5. Not a good performance. Sarr, 5.5 out of 10 today. Moore, 5.5 out of 10. Wasn't in the game. 5.5 out of 10. He did a lot of defensive work, and he was asked to do that, but he didn't really get on the ball. Son, I'm going to give 6.5 out of 10. Odegaard, 6 out of 10. Tell, 6.5 out of 10. In terms of those players coming on, Rishi came on too late to really do anything. So did Solanke. So did Brennan Johnson. Bentancur, yeah, probably the same. I can't really give them full scores because the game had basically gone. When Aston Villa scored the second goal, they just kind of collapsed the game. It was bitty. They didn't really make any chances. And Spurs didn't really make that many chances either. So that is the last game before Bilbao, the Europa League final. Listen, we've lost another game. It's 21. It's embarrassing. We know it is. And more than likely, we're going to lose against Brighton and make it 22 on the last day. But it doesn't matter because we're in the Europa League final right now. We've just got to turn our heads to that Europa League final. Hopefully no injuries between now and then. And Tottenham, under Ange Postecoglou, have to find a way. And I'm going to say this, I've said it before, but many of you won't have seen me say it. Ange Postecoglou has won things. He has. Sure, you may say, oh, it's only been in Scotland or Japan or Australia. But he has won things. He's won finals. Pochettino was a brilliant manager, but when we got to that Champions League final, he'd never won a final. Postecoglou has shown in the last 2 months in these knockout games that he is willing and able to change things, shape-wise, style-wise, to win those games. We won away at Frankfurt. We won away at Bodo Glimt, where everyone was saying that's going to be difficult, including me. I thought for sure we would concede the first 2 goals away from home. I watched Bodo Glimt at home against Lazio. They tore them a new one. But Ange has shown, and the players have shown, that they have the desire and the motivation and the intensity in these games, in the Europa League, to do whatever it takes. And we need one more of those from them. That's what we need. One more of those. Against Manchester United. Do whatever it takes. Put your body on the line. Get on the end of everything. Set pieces. Everything. Don't try and play perfect football. Don't try and play it out. We've done better since we've been playing it long from the keeper. Down the channels. Play it direct. Off the likes of Solanke. His hold-up play is magnificent. Off the likes of Richarlison if he starts ahead of Son. Is there a way Richarlison starts left and Son starts right? Or Son starts left and Richarlison starts right, and that way you have both players playing? Maybe that's a possibility. Let's see what happens. But all of us need to be together. We need to forget about if you hate Daniel Levy, forget about it for the night. Forget about it for the week. If you hate Postecoglou and think he needs to leave, forget about it. We need to pull together, whether you're in your house in Britain or in your house or flat around the world, or if you're in a pub somewhere with Tottenham fans, or if you're in Bilbao, or if you're in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium watching it. We all need to be together. We need to be positive in the ether. And I do feel a positivity from Spurs fans towards this final. I really do. And we have to help it manifest itself into a Spurs victory, and it will be a tight game. It will be gnashing of teeth. It will be gnawing at fingernails. It will be difficult. It will be horrible. But we can do it, and I hope and think we will do it. But it's going to take a big push from everyone. So guys, thank you so much for watching this post-match review. Really appreciate it. Please do press like. Please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for daily Tottenham content. And you can become a member. Just £1 a month. All the details in the description box of how it really helps me make this content for you. Thank you so much. Cheers.